I've had my own boss in the past utilizing this style, thinking the way it should be utilized was yelling and using like cuss words. It's not necessary.
Words should be enough, mostly when you're a leader, right? When you say something
Yeah.
as a leader, like that should be enough. Hey guys, crisis mode right now. I need information immediately. Let's get to it. Team should know the behavior I'm using here and why. All right. So, autocratic leader. I've noticed that basically when you take these behaviors where you need information immediately and you don't need feedback and you just need to go, 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 the team is going to react to that very abruptly, mostly if this is something new, right? One of the most important things you can do is let the team know when a situation like this arises, I have to go fast and I don't need your information at the moment. I just need what I asked for and what I need you to do and then go and do it, right? And that's something that I have used. And again, the first once or twice that I've used it, I felt that reaction from the team. And then I realized, wow, the team should know the behavior I'm using here and why, which I did. And then next time I had to be very abrupt and to the point, I kind of give them a heads up, like, hey guys, crisis mode right now. I need information immediately. Let's get to it. And it was so smooth. And another one I want to make a point of is I remember one of my leaders in my retail days was, I think, a prime example of how you can be an autocratic leader and be still very much liked and respected. In retail, there are a lot of situations where you need to be very fast and immediate. There's like urgency, right? And he was a person that was able to kind of get in the trenches with all the sales associates and managers. But when he needed things fast, he would be fast at it, but he would just kind of give you the sense of like, we are as a team need to move forward. We need to do fast. And just, I think that behavior of being kind of like positive, worked really well. And I think that's something that I've definitely tried to model myself on when I need to things fast. I kind of model that idea of like keeping it fun, like keeping the work environment fun. You need to go fast, you need to be urgent, and you can still be kind of fun. Of course, you can't really do that. Let's say first responder, you can't be like too fun being, having that autocratic leader as a first responder. But I think for a lot of people that are working in offices and you are in this style, you can just let the team know ahead of time. So when you're in that style, you get in that style, you do what you need to do, and then you get out of that style, and then you do like a recap. Crisis mode is over. How did everybody do? In that case, the team knows, okay, we had a run there that we had to do that. That's been my experience, Kiana. So
Yeah. So if you're a leader or you're going to be a leader, at some point in your leadership journey, you will use this style. It just will
mhm.
happen because we will all be in situations that this requires it. Now, I for sure have used it and I for sure have experienced it. But I think when I was utilizing this style, I didn't even think about it at the time of like, oh, I need to switch over to autocratic leadership style.
Mhm.
It was more of a situation happened, it was we got to put a file out. We were going through audit. Everything was time sensitive and we needed to collect a lot of data. So my approach in this style was less about utilizing this assertiveness and this direct style towards my team with the individuals. I use it against the task and project at hand instead. So the way I went about with is assigning each individual on my team that was part of this project or audit the task, what they needed to do, and when they had to get it done. But I did it in a style where I was part of it too, because I assigned it to myself as well. I was always part of the team. I always checked up on them. How we doing? How we progressing? Are you getting stuck somewhere? That I basically made sure that I was not going to use a style that was going to make it feel like, hey, I am your boss right now and go get this done versus we're going to get as a team and we got this giant file we got to put out. Let's go and let's get this done and put this file out together. Now, the reason why I think I gravitated to that style, which Spiros was talking about, you can be assertive and be autocratic without being disrespectful and rude, is because I've had my own boss in the past utilizing this style and thinking the way it should be utilized was yelling and using like cuss words, like they thought like, oh my gosh, well, this gotta be done. So you go like, it's not necessary, right? You can get the same thing done and still meet the speed requirement and everything of crisis management requirement without utilizing behavior or personality and emotion that is going to come up to everybody like, whoa, what is going on? Why am I in trouble? Why am I being yelled at? So I feel like when it comes down to you being able to use this style. And when you run into your situation, you're not going to think twice of like, oh, which style am I going to use? Because you will learn it through our videos and be able to understand, recognize the situation and know that you will naturally need to go and pivot into these type of crisis management or not, right? But it's very much on you as an individual to utilize it in a way that will get the job done and it's still that style without creating a hostile environment for your team and for other individuals.
Yeah. You made some points I want to reflect on. So a common theme that I hear, that I've experienced, that I definitely hear from you too, is team effort, team goal is a big part of being able to use this style and not create that kind of, resentment from the team. Another point you made, I completely agree, and I've experienced some of it as well, which is, words should be enough, mostly when you're a leader, right? When you say
Yeah,
something as a leader, like that should be enough. Your words of saying, this is extremely important, this is high priority, this is the highest priority thing we have right now. Everybody, all hands on deck, let's move. The moment you say that, that should be more than enough. If it's
yeah,
not more than enough, right, you kind of want to coach that to the individual level. Like, who thought that when I said that, didn't think that this was high level? When I say this is top priority, I need this as fast as possible in calm, collective words. And like, everyone's gonna have some passion. That's totally cool, right? But like, you have to curve your passion because when you are a leader, whatever you do is going to be reflected on your team, and your team is going to act that way, or is going to think that the way you act is acceptable in the environment, in the culture of your company. So you're changing it, right? So words are enough. And this is my personal belief. And I'm curious in your opinion, Kiana. I get there are some scenarios where you're on the battlefield and yelling makes a lot of sense because you got to get your point across. That's different, right? But if you're in a high stakes situation and you're cursing and or you're getting very loud and angry, I'll tell you one thing, your performers are going to leave. The moment that leader crosses that line and starts cussing and yelling, I think you start adding this kind of different emotion. People start kind of closing down and getting all sorts of personal like feelings coming out from other experiences in their life, and it gets really messy. And that's one thing I've done personally, and we talk about this later with servant leadership, how effective that is and why. But I've been in the worst situations, I've done my best to stay very calm and collective, and go straight to the point. This is a job, this is a business, we're getting paid for it. We can and continue to stay, we'll stay respectful about it. So
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think you have to have the mentality of uh, the leadership styles. They are not you against the team. The leadership styles are utilized between you against the task at hand or the
right, well
situation.
said.
Right. So when you are utilizing it, you're not there attacking someone else because you feel like you have to assert yourself. No, you can still assert yourself and recognize that the team is still to support you and you are there to support them. So how do you guys do this together to save this project, this company, to save this building, whatever it may be, you need to recognize that. I agree with Spills that no matter what role or position you're in, under a professional setting, there is never a case that I feel raising your voice or cussing out loud, whether it's directly or indirectly, as someone or in a meeting is appropriate, right? You will get more done and you'll get a greater and better outcome when you have respected and happy employees. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that because we have all been employees of a company. When we feel recognized, appreciated, respected, what do we want to do? We want to perform more. We want to do better, right? When we feel disrespected or we feel like we're not will belittle or not appreciated, it makes you not want to do more. Like, what's the point, right? So you have to think of
Yeah.
it that put yourself in the other person's shoes.
Yeah. Everything starts at the top level. If that top person leading the team or the company makes this an acceptable behavior,
Yeah.
everybody's going to think it's unacceptable, right? People that stream YouTube and watch a lot of videos, they'll see a lot of thought leaders or researchers or whatever out there, and business owners that are giving advice, and they're like, yeah, and they curse back and forth and that. maybe that works because it's YouTube and you're like, wow, this is cool. This is kind of edgy. And I kind of like how this is like pushing the envelope. But when it comes down to like individuals, nobody likes to be yelled at all, and nobody likes to be cussed at. And I think you made a perfect point, Yana, which is it's us as a team against the task at hand. And again, emotion is good. Like passion is good. That all can be good so long as, to your point, it's rooted in we're trying to conquer this task as a group. If somebody is not performing, and this is, I don't want to go off tangent, but and the leader thinks, well, because my team is not performing, I'm going to yell at them. No, like you need to pull the individual that's not performing well and help them, coach him up or out. Simple as that. And if it's the whole team that's misperforming, then maybe you should look at yourself in the mirror, and see maybe it's the way you're presenting the information, the way you're coaching them, the way you're holding them accountable. Maybe it's the structure. If everybody's doing it wrong except the leader, then you should kind of question that for a moment, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
likely that's a realistic case.
Yeah, something's missing, right.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I want to thank you guys for watching our video here. Obviously, this is very close and personal with us as we share some of our experiences. Please let us know if you like these type of personal experience content, as well as if you want us to talk about anything else that you'd like to see in our next video. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye,
Thank you.
guys.